Do you ever find yourself feeling down about who you are? What if I told you that the way you perceive yourself wields immense power over your overall mental and emotional well-being? That's right. Self-perception, or how we see ourselves, greatly influences our self-esteem and our interactions with the world around us. Imagine self-perception as a mirror. If the mirror is smudged or distorted, it's likely to reflect an image that's far from accurate. Similarly, if our self-perception is skewed by negative thoughts or experiences, it tends to reflect poorly on our self-esteem. But here's the silver lining. Just as a mirror can be cleaned and adjusted, so can our self-perception. By consciously altering the way we think about ourselves, we can transform our self-esteem. We can go from feeling inadequate to feeling confident, from feeling unlovable to feeling worthy. The journey to feeling better about yourself begins with a shift in how you perceive yourself. Consider this. Have you ever taken a moment to truly acknowledge your strengths? In the hustle and bustle of life, it's all too easy to focus on our shortcomings, our areas for improvement. But what about the things we excel at, the qualities that make us unique, the strengths we possess? Recognizing and appreciating our strengths is a vital step in nurturing a positive self-view. It's about taking stock of what you bring to the table, whether that's your sense of humor, your analytical mind, your knack for cooking, or your ability to empathize with others. When we focus on these positive aspects of ourselves, our self-esteem gets a significant boost. It's like shining a light on the parts of us that we should be proud of. And this isn't about arrogance or self-importance. It's about self-awareness. It's about understanding and valuing our worth. Remember, acknowledging your strengths doesn't mean you're arrogant, it means you're self-aware. How do you react when you encounter your imperfections? Consider this question for a moment. We all have our own quirks, flaws, and shortcomings. But what if we told you these so-called imperfections are not things to hide or be ashamed of, but rather a part of your unique identity? You see, there's no such thing as perfect in this world. Trying to achieve perfection is like trying to grasp the wind. Instead, embracing our imperfections can lead to a healthier self-image and improved self-esteem. Accepting our flaws doesn't mean we stop trying to improve. On the contrary, it means we acknowledge our humanity and give ourselves room to grow. When we embrace our imperfections, we're not settling for less. We're simply acknowledging that we're human, and that's okay. We're unique, and that's okay. We're not perfect, and that's more than okay. Embracing your imperfections is not about settling for less, but about recognizing your humanity and your uniqueness. How often do you show yourself the same compassion you show others? A question to ponder, right? Self-compassion, simply put, is the act of being kind to yourself, particularly during moments of struggle or failure. It's a golden ingredient in the recipe of feeling better about ourselves. Just as we extend empathy towards others in their times of difficulty, we ought to do the same for ourselves. When we stumble, falter, or fall, we must remember to pick ourselves up with words of encouragement and self-love. Instead of harsh self-criticism, let's choose understanding. Instead of self-blame, let's opt for self-forgiveness. Why, you ask? Because self-compassion fosters a healthier self-image. It allows us to accept our flaws and shortcomings and to view them as parts of our growth journey rather than symbols of inadequacy. It's a kind of self-care that nourishes our emotional well-being, helping us to cultivate resilience and inner strength. Remember, when you're kind to yourself, you're not only healing but also growing. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. We started with the power of self-perception, highlighting how our view of ourselves shapes the reality we live in. Our self-perception affects our actions, our interactions, and our overall well-being. We then moved on to acknowledging our strengths. We all have unique attributes and abilities that make us who we are. Recognizing these strengths is key to building self-confidence and self-esteem. We also touched on the importance of embracing our imperfections. They are part of our identity, and accepting them can lead to a healthier and more positive self-image. Last but not least, we discussed practicing self-compassion. Being kind to ourselves, especially during times of difficulty, can significantly improve our mental and emotional health. Now, it's your turn to implement these steps. Start by changing your self-perception, acknowledging your strengths, embracing your imperfections, and practicing self-compassion. Feeling better about yourself is a journey, not a destination. Start your journey today.